Okay, back on for a while. But yeah, like I said, we're not going to be on for long because Beckman Putin is out of here pretty soon. There's a bit of breakdown and all that, relocating. But yeah, just picking up with Dumbledore Who. Not sure. Yeah. One thing I would like to see, because one thing that irritated the hell out of me with Children of Earth when the Prime Minister moved against Torchwood, and even Gwen says in there that they don't work for the government; they work for the crown. So by all rights, when they moved against Torchwood, they committed high treason. Hey, Captain Jesse, we're back. Yeah. So one thing I would like to see is a scene in the beginning, whatever, just just an aside thing, where audience with the Queen, and Gary's in. Okay, but join it in with daily audience with the Queen, with the Prime Minister, and say, whoever the Prime Minister is, it's sort of just not really required for the plot itself. It's just a thing to set up. And recalling the incidents with Children of Earth, when the Prime Minister decided to take out Torchwood. I'd like to remind you that Torchwood works for me. Therefore, any movement against Torchwood is movement against the crown. And a lot of the rules for high treason are still on the books. So yeah, we could probably, reopen the tower type of thing. So just set that up so there's no more of this, blowing up the hub. Sending in, rather disreputable source to go after. I mean, I might just script the scene and send it to children. Here's something. If you do that Torchwood, put this in. It's yours for free. I hereby give you clearance. I also consider this my audition for the BBC position. But yeah. Where were we at on? If they're bringing back Torchwood, it's going to take that's because they would just be starting that right now, so that's going to be a long development period. So they decided now it's going to be probably a year before they even make an announcement because they got to work up the format and setting and then bring in new cast members. The only ones we know for sure we jump on this one would be John Barrowman and Eve Miles. And that's assuming Eve Miles is available because she's got a gig already. So, Killing Eve, I think is the name of it. So it's like, will she be available? So there's that. They gotta have Gwen. What if the real GOS Enterprise in the middle of a retrofit? Okay. The Men in the Disco Prize is proof that this story is not canon because compare the Enterprise in the Cage and in Wonder Woman has gone before. That's about a 12-year gap there. Same model. I mean, you mean, we're also caged over the 3-footer, but there's that one zoom-in shot with the 11-foot model. And then you got all the shots when Wonder Woman has gone before with the 11-foot model. The only changes on that thing at that point were some extra lights because Roddenberry wanted more lights. Well, he wanted lights, period. He didn't have any lights at all in the cage. If it really had some lights in there, so they added a few blinkies. And then with the production, they added more lights, including the engines. But it's the same bloody model with virtually identical. So Disco Prize is the oddball out. Not only is it totally different structurally, it's also about 50% larger, or at least 25% larger. I mean, the little legally required 25% difference. And that's what beggars the whole thing. It's like, you're going to tell me this is the same ship that we saw in the series. And somehow it's swelled up another 500 feet longer and then back by the time the original show lined up. No. Okay, we are not idiots. Right? And that's the thing that galls me more than anything. They're treating us like utter morons. No, it's the same ship, really. No, it isn't. Stop saying it is. Okay.
The disco prize looks like a bloody pizza cutter.
No, that's the JJ prize. With those nacelles squished like that. That's in fact really look at the Star Trek pizza cutter. The configurations are virtually the same.
Oh,
Huge.
got another one.
What we got here? What? Okay, yeah, we're all right. All right. Oh yeah. No, that must be cruising the comic shops. Okay. Well, again, they wouldn't. I'm not reading the question. Anyway. We're trying to say this is a different enterprise. They wouldn't have another ship with the same name and same number out there. Nothing else. You know, militaries are slaves to their clerks, okay, and their accounting bits. You know? I used to work admin in the Air Force. I know this sort of thing. You're not. That'd be the same thing as like putting out a different fighter squadron with the same number and the same. Doesn't happen. They would just pull the ship and put something else out there, but it'd be a different ship with a different name and different number. No, I never should have shown. And they said early on we were not going to see the Enterprise or Spock or any other characters. And then what happens? They lied. This is not misleading by some. This is they just flat out lied, and that is what what happened? Nothing much happened. So,
yeah.
Yeah, they're starting to track it. But yeah.
Asking what happened.
I don't know. I think it's like you just got in. So okay, what I missed? Nothing much. But yeah. No, I'm giving Chibnall all the room he needs in the world to get this thing going because he's first year in charge by himself. He doesn't have he's not answering to Davis or Moffat or anything of this. Now he's the one in charge. And with Torchwood, I mean not with Torch, Broadchurch, you see what he can do when he's the one calling the shots. And I really like Broadchurch. Even I like the second year too. So yeah, I'm willing to give them all kinds of chances. And again, I haven't seen Rosie yet. And I think the big problem is you're dealing with a historical period. The people are still alive that remember. Maybe not so much in England, but the people remember back here what it was like during that time period. Oh, what's happening, not what happened. Don't you love autocorrect? I can tell when I'm on the tablet during the chat because I got something that immediately after would be fucking autocorrecting me because I've already got it programmed in. So. But yeah. Yeah, I have no doubt they're going to bring Torchwood. With Chibnall there, yeah, that was his baby. So again, they got a big long development period for that to go. In the meantime, yeah, he'll have his hands full with Doctor Who. So, yeah, all right, and as always, if anybody feels inclined, links are down below. And I mentioned that also because when this thing, I pull out, this thing will go on the channel. The links are in the description. So the Discourse itself seems to be doing. That's the thing. They're trying to have it both ways. They're saying Discovery is a brand new ship, and yet it's got a register number that is just because there are inconsistencies with the numbers doesn't mean you can just do whatever the hell you want with them. Okay. You got to have some kind of, implied system in there. We don't just throw it out the window. We're going to call this NCC 004. No? Just because. That doesn't work that way, okay? You consider Star Trek continues to be canon. I would like to.
Yeah,
I'd like to consider, Star Trek continues canon. Rod Roddenberry said that Gene would. Because of the attention to detail there and the respect they have for the original show, then yeah. I've already kind of even told Vic when we're up there during the Q&A session that I told him we're working with Bijo on the new concordance, and I've already said on my own I will do a supplement to include Star Trek Continues in the in the Concords or on a side thing. He liked that. He said, "Oh, that's sweet." He appreciated that. I think bless you. I think Discovery Nessa. I'm not sure what the Discovery Nessa is. A lot of it's like too many flat surfaces.
Look at their resume, so
They're squared off things. It's weird. It's almost series of flat surfaces. Really, there's very few curves really on that thing. And there ain't no complex shapes at all. On that thing. It's a big blocky thing. It seems like it would be one of those. If you're doing a paper model, that kind of big. This would be pathetically easy to do a paper model.
okay.
What do we got? Brian Fuller shut down. He said he liked Halloween. That's the only reason it's at 10:31. He runs a Halloween. But then you got Section 31 guys all over the name ship with it. Everyone figuring the black badge every one is obviously and it's supposed to be Section 31. Also, it's like they're doing a real crappy job of being covert. Since the general thing of Section 31 is nobody's supposed to know they exist. And yet they got uniforms and their own special badges. Like, yeah, great way to stay covert, morons. There's supposed to be at least implied system in the numbers. And these twits seem to think you just throw any old number you want on the ship, and it does, and with no connection to how old the ship is. It's like they don't even care to try and figure this thing out. They just, they didn't work back then, so I'll just give a number. Let's try. I'm not sure this does work anywhere outside of the Klingon Empire. They got.
Yours and Daniel's hot topics.
Hot topic is so we can have double the suck. Well, yeah, it's early days. If this thing goes down hard, we may not get anything. Especially now, I'm still waiting for that injunction from the court over the lawsuit. Because again, now Dean, I don't think he needs the money so much, and he feels personally insulted. So that's why I don't think he's going to settle. He wants justice. He doesn't want money. He wants some payback on it. So yeah, because I've seen another site that's kind of legal thing talking about this thing, and this guy's the thing that they haven't got a case, but it's a lawyer and he said that he doesn't really know Star Trek that well, but he had a link to the actual papers, and they're suing for an injunction against the show. In other words, they want to shut down. He's not suing for damages. He wants to shut down. So, yeah, the merger is something that really save it because that no compete clause in the wall with the licensing is only going to hold up for so long before they finally get their hands on the real thing. Because that is a big thing. The way the licensing works, actual Star Trek is walled off from anybody to do anything with it until Paramount and JJ can't touch it. That's everything they do has got to be different, and that's also why Discovery has got to be different because Bad Robot's in the next thing. It's by way of Kurtzman, his new production company, hidden something or other, Secret Hideaway. That's how Bad Robot's in there. And the legal requirement that Johnny's let's slip that everything's got the legally mandated got to be 25% different. They wouldn't do that if CBS had was able to do what they wanted. The fact that it's mandated means no, they can't. And I did a video on this whole thing, and I got the little galactic barrier saying, here's Star Trek up here, here's JJ Trek down here, and in between, never the twain shall meet. That's why I'm not totally despondent about this, because I know they can do what they want, really. It's not Star Trek. It's never going to be Star Trek. I had a mild discussion with Bijo about this, but, because she feels so worried about, well, they say it's Star Trek, so shouldn't we be included? So, no, really. Not just because it's so bad, it stinks so nice. It's like it's not a part of the thing, because it's all the licensing thing. That's why I feel even better about not including JJ Trek. The alternate timeline, sorry, but the alternate timeline, or no, it doesn't fit. It's not gonna fit. It's not allowed to fit. It is 9:25, so we're gonna be knocking this off pretty soon.
I'd say another few minutes and then.
Yeah. I can break down pretty quick. I'm not worried about it. Yeah.
I might as well show my face.
No, don't worry about it. No, there we go. The check is cut out here. So, okay, CBS and Paramount merge, all the rights will be under one roof. I think hopefully also that the no compete clause will go bye-bye. Because now they would be not compete against themselves. You're determined to get back here, aren't you? Yeah, okay, go on.
Of course I am.
Go, come on. Well, the idea, the little secret scheme I think even JJ might have had is that eventually his creation will overshadow and take over and wipe out the previous thing, and it'll only be JJ's trick. Yeah. Now just wipe out the previous continuity. And never to return. And of course, they're kind of forgetting the fact that these are all fictional concepts, okay? Their legal claim only lasts as long as they're in charge. And the second they're out the door, bring back the old stuff, and start over again.
Ow.
And you can squall in there. No, JJ, sorry, you're not here anymore. You don't get to say anymore. We're back to the real stuff now. Yeah, they try and merge it. It's just got to be a big old tricky mess. Again, what can be rebooted can be unrebooted or rebooted over. So yeah, the whole thing, never to be spoken over and talked of again. And that's only lasts as long as the people in charge want it to. Because the second you get someone in there and say, no, I don't like this crap, we're going back to the original stuff, And it's like a case in point, the Halloween movies. Every one of the Halloween movies has been a reboot, going back as a sequel to, so every one of them came to be Halloween 2, even the new one. Yeah, I think JJ is probably too happy now over Star Wars now. Didn't even worry about Star Trek anymore. I think it's what, frankly, the stuff for Star Trek 4 is kind of gone down the crapper, and no one cares. Except maybe Paramount, because in order to maintain their rights, they have to put out a movie every so often. So if it's JJ or it's Quentin Tarantino, they got to put out something to maintain the claim on the license. Otherwise, it all goes back to CBS. And supposedly the countdown begins on when the no compete clause expires. Yeah, it's the one only classic Halloween. Again, I've never really been a slasher flicks anyway. I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street, but I think I saw the first Friday the 13th. But it's just I just can't get into that. Frankly, the best horror movies are the ones that really don't see much. Let the imagination take over. Because what you pick up in your mind is usually 10 times worse than anything they can put on screen. Yeah, one thing I edited my videos is get rid of a lot of lens flares. I don't know if I think I should cut them. I was in the captain's quarters, angling the camera around and said, here was lens flare. This is not a JJ production. I was going to leave that info. I think that's cut it. I think because a lot of lights are set up there just to get some light to see what's going on. They weren't really set up so you wouldn't see them. That was kind of interesting going through those sets because, yeah, all the sets are there, but they're not set up the same way as on that diagram for stage 9. Because actually, the way it is normally when you're going in and up at the very end of the quarter, there's engineering. But the way they got it set up there is actually going, and then engineering's right off to the side here, and it's the bridge that's up there, you know. Well, the bridge is kind of close to it. It would normally be a little further over, but they didn't quite have the same level of floor space they did on stage 9 on Desolate. All we know is they stole something from the set of the Mandalorian. We don't know what exactly. I figure it's probably a prop. It's something that small, cheap, they could sneak out, but still, because it's a Star Wars prop, it's worth thousands of dollars. Discovery might. That's the scary thing. It might count as something, but I think they're mainly looking at as far as the license to make movies. I think we would have to put out a movie. So I think as far as Discovery goes on, it's just as far as because it's made under the auspices of that robot through hidden secret hideaway. It's under the license. But I don't know. That's for legal. That's for lawyers to come up with the entertainment laws. That's a dimension all to itself. And I'm getting the signal to pull the plug here. So okay, we've been at it for 20 minutes here. So once again, PayPal, Patreon down below. If you're not subscribed, then what the hell are you doing here anyway? But
hopefully we'll be able to do a longer chat tomorrow, maybe.
yeah, because I've got the editing out of the way now, so now I'm just but tomorrow Friday?
Oh yeah.
Tomorrow's Friday, I think. So we can have some more fun with it. And actually, the ones that really talk about this is really Midnight Six, because they're the ones that break a lot of this stuff. And I went to their stuff, and I think, let's put this in visual form. And then when I did that video on that one, because they explained it pretty clearly about what it was. I think a lot of people still weren't getting it. Okay, here's how it works. Okay, here's what we think is going on. And it's supposed to fit in here. It doesn't really do that. It goes down here somewhere. It's totally separate line. But okay. Okay, folks, and spread the channel around, get some people out, because right now last I saw it was like 747 subscribers, so we're about 250 away. When I get this thing remonetized, I won't be quite up against the wall as I am now. So. I mean, it won't be enough to justify going to the bank and saying, "Give me a house loan," because realistically, they want 2 years. It's got to self-employment, and they want 2 years of checks there. And yeah, I've had the channel for about 12 years, but I've only been really pushing this for about a year, and only got 2 checks out of it before YouTube cut me off the knees with a rule change. And I still got $30 hanging at AdSense. So, okay, catch you later, catch you later, Gary. And hopefully, if anybody else shows up online, we'll go in there. But yeah, spread the channel around, send the videos around, and PayPal, Patreon, and other things down below. I would like to see more of these. Thanks a lot, Alex shirts. For now, I think me and 2 other guys are the ones who got them. I think 2 of them. So I was hoping this was going to be a big seller, but I thought it was going to take off, especially during at the time it happened. But, okay, gotta go, guys. So catch you later.